down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot, never mind your liver, get to Gino's Spot.
Ginos Spot!
Get to Gino's Spot.
Ginos Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, have a Gino shot.
Ginos Shot!
Get to Gino's Spot.
Ginos Spot!
Get to Gino's Spot.
Ginos Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, get to Gino's Spot.
Ginos Spot!
Oh, that's hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's a movie on the atom. You must move me. I am here today on Ginos Spot. My name is Minuto. Minuto Peniso. I am Italian. Of course I'm Italian because we have Italians on tonight. We have a Familia Scribante. All for you, for your pleasure, viewing pleasure tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, especially for the ladies, of course. I have dressed like this too because Italians, we like to look our best at all times because you never know. No, of course, Italians, we are into love. Love is the most important thing, of course. Familia, love, friends, drink, be merry. My mother and my father, they love each other very much. Even me, Minuto Peniso. My name is Minuto because, you know what happened? It got cut off one time with the combine harvester. It was a terrible, quickly. And my love for the family, the love for the friends is always there, always so beautiful. And my father and mother, they love each other very much, very, very much. It's nice to have everybody on board. I see Carol and Jacob already from East London. Nice to have you there, Carol. Beautiful. Next to the river, I think you are so beautiful there. My mother and father love each other very much. My father loved my mother, particularly because she cooks so nice. Huh? Very good with the cooking. In fact, my father on his deathbed, it was his dying day. He was battling to breathe, and he was saying to my, he smelled the smell of my mama's cooking come from downstairs. She come past his nose like this. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Have I got to some music? I don't know where that come from, the music. Music come in my ears all of a sudden, beautiful music. But I smell the smell of my mother's cooking come from downstairs, my father. He get up out of his deathbed. Mamma mia. He get up, he crawl across the floor. Across the floor with his fingernails. He pull himself down the stairs to the kitchen. He get it to the kitchen. And you see the smell from the table, the food. He crawled towards the table. And then he reached up with his last gasp of dying air. He reached up to the table. My mama said, stop that. This is for the funeral. Mamma mia. It did not last much longer after that, of course. But well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ginos Spot. Welcome to Ginos Spot. And it is beautiful to have you here. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds, our sponsor, our spec, and of course to Amobia for the beautiful internet, and not last but least the Spar. The Spar, we see beautiful Roseanne in the beginning. Give me a Ginos Spot. It's so nice, so nice. We are going to sing a song for you, please. Hello, Kevin the Reader. Hello, nice to have you on board here as well. I see Shirley. My smell, my mouth. It come past my nose. It come past your nose. That's right. The pasta is so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, put some comments up. We're going to sing a song for you, and then we are going to do sing some comments. We see who is online. Lovely. We can see a lot of people coming on to say hello to the Scribante brothers. We have got motor racing. I can't wait for the cars. Woo, 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 woo. Coming past so fast. Hello, Mark Boward. Good to have you on the internet as well. Brandon Kelly. Is he here? Brandon Kelly. You say hello. He's for the racing. I think something, I don't know. Yes, he come race, eh? Yes, one day you will catch the brothers. No problem. It's fine. Just, eat some more chili. Eat some more chili. It's going to be fine. Good evening. Looking forward to the show with the Scribantes. Nice for you. Okay, let's hit a song. Put a song and we will sing some of these beautiful comments. Hey! Oh, this one. Hey! Yes, Wendy Thompson. Hello. And Michael Pavel Clement is also here too. I say a ciao to you, Jeff Applewhite. Nice to see you on the internet tonight. And Mark Telford and his beautiful wife that I always chat up when I see him. Very nice. You are there too. And Donald Thomas, I'm glad you are well, my friend. Bring on the car, says Glenn Fuller. Tonight, I see there's so much love in me. So much love, I could fill up Hello Chuckle, Mike Barwoody, every day and every night, and even Kevin the Reader too. I smell my mother's cooking. Come pasta your nose, Carol Jacobs. Nice to have you here too. Amor, bubutuba, bibutubu, bibutuba. I, Brendan Kelly. If I eat more chili, my ring will be burning completely white. Yes, right. Amor, amor, Linda Cup. Rev it up, I will do it. This is true. From tonight with you, Wendy Thompson. Anytime you want, my baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ginos Spot in the Italiano. We are all here. The Italians are here tonight. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Fitch and Leeds. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds, our sponsors. And Fitch and Leeds always puts together a little bit of a drink for us to check out. I have tonight. I hope you've got your drinks tonight. You need some drinks because we're going to be watching and looking at fast cars, and it's going to be so lekker. And we've got all sorts of, we're going to discuss the whole history of the Scribantes from their construction right through to the stuff. Yes, let's see some Formula One, says Sam Fenter. I think so. I will have a look. We'll have a look at some of the Barry Capilis, Barry the carpet guy. Yes, fantastic to have you on as well. I see you got little Minnie there. And Katrina Storm. The storms are in the house, she says. The storms are in the house. Linda van der Westhuizen, that's Civil and General up in Queenstown, saying hello as well. Fantastic to have you and your special guests as well. I'm sure you know them well. Linda Cup, lovely to have you. All right, so we've got our magical mixologist Justin, who's going to show us a little bit of a drink. Let's see what he's got. When the sun goes down and you need a little tipple, Fitch and Leeds have got a flavor for the people. Until the midnight. Get up on the floor, dancing all night long. Get up on the floor, dancing to the break of dawn.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Magical Mixologist. Today, as you can see, I'm in a bit of a club mood, so we're going to be using our Fitch and Leeds Club Soda to make this pretty awesome little mojito. Alright, so first things first, we're going to toss a fresh lime wedge into a glass with some mint leaves. We're going to muddle that boy in there. Destroy everything in the process. It's a little bit of rage lots in this. There we go. I'm going to jam some ice in there. That's too big. I'm going to jam some ice in there. Alright. I'm going to garnish with a gorgeous little lime wedge. Building up to it, guys. Don't worry, building up to this. I'm going to toss a couple more mint leaves in there just at the top so that it floats and gets stuck in your mouth. And then we're going to add about 15 ml of lime juice. A tablespoon of sugar. Don't worry. It's not that much. And of course, top it up with our Fitch and Leeds Club Soda. Righty. Cheers. Oh, I'm so keen to squeak tacky after drinking one of these. Cheers, guys.
Fitch and Leeds have got a mixer that'll fix you on the table. Fitch and Leeds, the bespoke mixer for the discerning individual. Indeed, the bespoke mixer. Hello, Marshall Thompson. Lovely to tell the Scribante boys to give my love to their mom and dad. They're right over here. They're waiting to come on the stage. They will do. Ziapina and Ziochelso, I will tell them. Absolutely. And that's Brian Wilkinson. Hello, Brian, from all the way from the Boardwalk days. Samantha Casale. Oh, Casale, we see we've got some Italians on board. There's Samantha. You're such a beautiful Italian. And Guy Riddle. How's it, guys? See guys there as well. And Michelle Kelly. Lovely to see you there as well, Michelle. Denise Darlow. Hello there, Heather Victor. Oh, hello there. Nice to have you too. We've got so many people on here. It's going to be great tonight. I can see there's a vibe here. There's that vibe happening. It's right on Gino Spot. Okay. So, yeah, we've got the Scribante brothers here in the studio because I've wanted to get them in for a long time because I've been out quite a few times to watch the racing, and they've always been on the cutting edge there. They're always doing something new. And it's always fun to go down to Scribante to watch some cars. There's something about oil and petrol and rubber that just like mixes all together, and it's just I don't know, maybe it's just because we all played with little cars when we were young. Little boys played with little cars when we were younger. I don't know, I just always loved cars. And so I had the real treat by going down on Thursday because they've just organized 2 Lamborghinis from Joburg, and we bring them down to race. So we're gonna hear all about them. But in the meantime, I'll show you a couple of the flybys that we saw on Thursday. I was lucky enough to be around. You'll have to move in there, yeah. We adjusted these chairs a little wrong. Here we go. Guys, welcome to the studio. We have Aldo Scribante on this side and Silvio.
Thank you.
Yeah, tonight. Fantastic to have you guys on the show for a change. It's something I do so many people that are entertainers and musicians and MCs and comedians, and it's nice to have somebody that's involved in other stuff as well. Scribantes. Been half Italian myself as well. I mean, you're actually full blood Italians. You know what I mean? Your mother and your father were both Italians. I just had the half story, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that my father and your dad go way back as well. In the early days. But it actually goes further back than that. In that my nonno Fabri, Ugo. His name was Ugo, which my brother got his name as well, Marco Ugo Fabri. Didn't like Ugo. It sounded like ugly, and it just wasn't, and in South Africa some names just don't work. It was one. So Ugo Fabri and of course Aldo Fabri Senior were also friends, along with Mr. Ciccolini as well at the time. They were all born at the same time, and I think your grandfather was born somewhere around early 1900s. We're talking about 1913 or something.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
he was born there, and my nonna was the same age. So they were in the army before the Second World War even, and which is a strange place to be. It's like a halfway in between. And your nonno came out from Italy to South Africa. Do you know any of that detail, why he actually came here in the first place, or?
We know a little bit. We had to endure it at the family dinners over and over. It was drummed into us from a young age. Yes. So basically my grandfather came to South Africa in 1937 after receiving a telegram from his brother Franco, who was in South Africa
already
at the time, working in a restaurant in Durban on the beachfront. Unfortunately lost his job.
Well, can you imagine now? You're just telling me that now, and I'm thinking to myself, Franco Scribante Senior sitting in Durban at a restaurant, having the time of his life.
Working in a restaurant. So sent a telegram to his brother and said, come to South Africa, there's lots of opportunity here. Obviously a lot of hardship in Italy at the time, and they were looking for greener pastures, and South Africa happened to be the place that they chose.
I know, isn't it crazy? And I mean, I know my grandfather came out with Sappy Adamus, which is the thing. I see Jeffrey Friend, hello Silvio, Aldo and Gino. Awesome race cars that you have acquired, he says. Big Man Marco. Who is Big Man Marco? He said, Gino, please wish my awesome mother Kim happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kim! I love you, Kim. You are so beautiful. Kim is turning 83 today, guys. I don't know. We
I
don't know.
won't mention her name. I'll get into trouble if I do that.
Okay.
I'll mention her age.
Well, I don't know how big man Marco is, but Marco, I hope you're not too big. I don't know why you call big man, Marco. Why?
I mean, just a code name. I'm not sure.
It's a code name. Jason Everson, give you legend. I don't think it was a typo. It's a typo. Silvio, Paul Club 24 says hello. There we go. I don't know what's Club 24. Silvio.
It's a club, golf club.
Oh, I was going to say good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was a golf club. Just wondering if it's another kind of club. Okay, that's enough. Okay, Michael Rudolph, fellow good guys, racing P for 80 years, and Brendan Kenny. Kevin,
Yes, hi, Brendan.
Is that Kevin?
No.
Not that Kenny's.
He's also a DJ. He does all the commentary. Motorsport.
Oh, okay,
All the
okay.
commentary.
Motorsport.
Yes, and I've heard for your one as well, for your website.
Not for the website
Okay,
of ours,
for
but
Go
for
Motorsport.
the
The commentary,
Motorsport,
does
all the
commentary.
commentary for the
Oh,
race.
fantastic. Okay. And there's a Lamborghini shirt. No, this says Scuderia Scribante only. A different kind of cars every week. Neville Ackerman. Hello, Neville. Nice to see you. So yeah, I mean, Aldo and Franco coming out here so early on, before the war even, and I think that obviously had an effect because during the war, Italy, of course, we are choosing maybe the wrong side in the beginning of the war. And so, obviously what happened was in during wartime, and I know, Aldo, you were telling me the other day about, I don't know if you want to tell me the story about them crushing stone.
They were crushing stone at the Kugekop, one of the main projects that they had secured. And it was for South African railways at the time.
Yeah, Spoorweg.
Spoorweg. And basically they were interned at Koffiefontein. So in the concentration camps.
Okay.
So yeah, and then after a few weeks, the Spoornet guys said, but why is the rock not coming down to the quay, to the harbour, the Charlie Milan quay in Port Elizabeth Harbour? And they said, go up there and find out what's wrong with those Italians. The rock's not coming. So they went up to have a look, and they found out what, they'd been interned at Koffiefontein. So they said, get them out. They must get back to work. So they only spent about 7 days in the concentration camp, and then got back out and to work. So
of course,
a little bit of luck.
You know how politics works. I mean, that's the whole story. It's like okay, it's the wartime, and all the wars, which was with General Smuts or whatever at the time, can be, say, oh no, we need all those bloody Italians to go to the camps. We can't have any spies here, So off they want to round them up. Doesn't matter how they got here in the first place. That just because they haven't got an ID or a passport or something, then they go to the camps. And then of course the boertjies, nou is Spoorweg. What is going on? We have got rocks that we need for this railways, and there's nothing now. Where is it? Kry daai manne, kom, klim in die bakkie.
There was something similar to that. Yeah.
Klim in die bakkie, and then they went back again. So they were working from
Back
there.
to the job, yeah.
Gee whiz. And I know a lot of the Italian prisoners of war, which they pretty much were back then, the Italian prisoners of war were coming from Abyssinia, which was Ethiopia at the time, because that was an Italian colony, and the Italian colony, of course, the South African army went up with the forces, because it was all under Britain at the time, of course. So they went up and they fought for got the Italians out of Abyssinia, but then they took a whole lot of prisoners of war, and they didn't want to send them back to Europe. There's no space there. They don't want the Italians back in the in the trenches again. So they sent them down to South Africa, and a lot of Italians are actually the fathers of many Afrikaans girls now today because of that. Because they used to work on the farm. Look, my wife's telling me that I'm not giving you a chance to talk. I understand. So I understand.
We don't mind.
You can't help it.
I can't. I'm Italian. I'm Italian.
We don't mind, Philippa.
So just as a background, I mean these Italians were all on the farms, you know, working on the farms too. And then so your father was obviously into engineering as well. I mean your grandfather, your nonno.
Well, believe it or not, my grandfather had a standard 6 qualification.
Wow.
So his whole working career was based on hard work, together with his brother Franco.
Yes, yes.
They started the business together. And my dad, second generation, and Romeo and Leandro, second generation, filtered in.
Yo.
And as we sit here today, we third generation Scribantes involved in the family business. So people ask, how does that work? I said, well, I think it's probably like really good indoctrination from a young age. I'm not sure.
You're gonna take over the business. You're gonna take it over.
Well, it wasn't really forced on us. We were given our options, what we wanted to do in life at Silville. We always had our options. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we chose civil engineering.
Yeah.
Got our diplomas and that's it. So we're involved in the family business. We're running it today, and
Absolutely. I mean, and
thumbs.
in the early days, I mean, I know that my grandfather was always talking about Mr. Scribante. It was Mr. Scribante. It was Mr. Gallinetti, Mr. Cicconini, all the PE Italians who've done various things. And I think in those days there was the Van Staden's Bridge and those things, and I'm pretty sure that Scribante would have been doing concrete and stuff, or at least crusher and stuff for those bridges.
Yeah, they were involved. They were involved with the foundations for the footings of the Van Staden's Bridge, and I'll never forget my grandfather telling us the story that in those days they took a nice 2-inch rope, put it around his belly, and then he had to go down the kloof, and they would hold him with the dynamite sticks and go and plant him in strategic positions, and then whistle, light, and they'd pull him up. They actually blew the foundations for the. So I reckon health and safety didn't rate very high in those days. So we enjoyed those stories.
I remember my father telling me about a story about the Van Staden's Bridge when they were created, because I think they built it from both sides. And apparently somebody left their a child in the car, and the child put the handbrake down. And the car started moving towards the end of the gorge, so they had to stop it. And there was one story about this Van Staden's Bridge, and I mean, there's so many construction projects that you guys have been doing, and I mean, right from I'm pretty sure that Swartkops Bridge. I think I might even have a photo of the Swartkops Bridge.
We were not involved.
We were not involved.
We lived next to the Swartkops Bridge all our lives. We grew up. We were born there. We're actually from Swartkops.
Yes.
That's where we originate from.
Swartkops,
100%.
I thought it was a Swartkops Bridge, but I've got a photo of a bridge, and I don't know which one it is. Maybe you guys will be able to help.
Probably the Swartkops Steel Bridge.
I don't know. It might be that too. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, there's one. I don't know what that is. Can you see what that is?
I don't recognize.
I thought that was it. It was on your website there. So this looks like the steel bridge, huh?
No, that's a very old photo. I'm not sure.
It's an old one. We don't know which one.
We'd have to go back to second generation to answer that.
Okay. I'm sure your dad's watching now and he's going, I know that bridge. I know that bloody bridge. It's the one there. That's the bridge. Oh, and I mean that's this. You've got different sections to Scribante, the company. Is that the holding company, Scribante?
Scribante Holdings is the holding company, but obviously Silvio started. We always were involved in ready mix, but internally. And then Silvio, maybe you want to talk about Scribante Concrete?
Look, my dad always had a crushing plant. Basically to crush for his own civil contracts. So never for other contractors, only for internal use only. And so I sort of saw a gap, and I thought, well, let's start a ready mix company, and we've already got the crushing plant, and we can expand from there on, and that's exactly what we did.
Sure. Okay. So I mean that does a lot of. I mean, it's huge amounts of earth that you guys are moving. It's like it's insane. And it's plant hire, earth moving stuff. I don't know what you don't do small construction. You don't do.
Yeah, we don't do building. We don't do building at all. We do roads and earthworks.
Okay.
And Aldo started up an asphalt business.
Oh, so tarring the
So
roads.
he
manufactured
manufactures
transport and
asphalt, and he
Okay.
also lays the asphalt.
Okay.
And then obviously we do quarrying business where we
Yeah.
crush the aggregate,
Yeah.
and ready mix concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of sections obviously.
Yeah,
You
there's
guys
Super
know-
Crush on the quarrying side,
Yeah.
Scribante Concrete on the concrete supply side, and obviously the original nuclear Scribante Construction.
Construction.
Yeah,
Okay, for
which
this-
is roads and civil
Civil.
and earthworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really huge amounts, because I know you were talking about this new project here that you're doing at Kucha, where you moved like 1.2 million cubic or tons of
Cubic meters.
cubic
yeah.
meters of
Yeah.
earth. I mean, 1.2 million.
Yeah, look, in earthworks, in civil engineering terms, that's considered large, but in mining terms, it's not
Oh,
considered
okay.
large. Yeah. Our cousin Franco
Yes.
in Johannesburg, there was a split in the company
Okay.
a few years ago,
Yeah.
probably 5 years back, 6 years
Okay.
back, and Franco has taken the other half of Scribante Construction and concentrated on the mining sector.
Okay.
So 1.2 million cubes in the mining
Okay,
sector
so
would be probably a few days' work. You know?
Okay, it's like a mountain, you know what I mean? It's like it's a
Yeah.
huge mountain. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable with
Yeah,
that kind of
sure.
thing. And projects in the past that bigger projects that people might recognise or know.
Well, we've done some Senral contracts.
The roads.
Yeah, the N2
Gee,
between Fish River and Kaiskama
okay.
on the N2. So that's probably a landmark project
Wow.
for us. Yeah, in the Eastern Cape.
Now the recent one.
Yeah, it was a
that
couple
was-
about 7 years
Yeah.
ago, and then we've done the R61 just outside Craddock,
Okay.
about 50 kilometers. So those are probably the bigger projects that we've done. Yeah,
Okay.
and then obviously an extension of the Kucha Harbour Quay Wall, where we had to excavate the 1.2 million cubes and go 17 meters below sea level
Wow.
with a
Okay,
a
you
pump
use
system.
Dredges or what do you?
No, conventional excavation, cut to spoil,
Okay.
and then a water extraction system that keeps
Okay.
the water table
Wow.
very low,
Okay.
controllable, I
Yeah,
should
yeah.
say. So yeah, that was quite a interesting project. Yeah.
Just like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And there was something. There was another project you were doing now as well. Other than you were talking about the Kucha one. That's for the harbour. It's an extension of the berth. You said.
Yeah, that was a good couple of years back.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's so that's the construction side. I mean, and that's a huge business. I don't know how you even get time to get into the racing, but I mean, the racing has always been a passion, isn't it?
Look, from me, and I'm sure Silvio feels like this as well, getting into a race car is like being in your office, but it's a different kind of office. It's a much more enjoyable office.
Yes.
And you can spend an hour or half an hour there, and that office is the best. It just takes your mind away from the work, and you
Yes.
can climb out of the car and then go back into the work environment.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a little bit of an escape.
Escape as well. It gives you that release. I think Michelota. There was Tanya Michelota watching from Walmer. I see there. Sam Fenter. Sam's there as well. What is Sam? Got how much Fitch and Lees do you add to your gin? Just one. Just one little bit, you know, Sam. Oh, there's, he said you must remember Ben Trobeck and Adair Murphy from Ital Ceramics, Ital Tile. Yeah, that was my Chelsea, I think, was friendly with them. I know they used to, with my father, my own father, and your father.
Man.
They got
And-
their tiles from there.
And the Trebecks and the Murphys used to go around town, and I think your father was always like I said, he wasn't allowed to race, you know, by his dad, so they used to just race on the roads then, you know. I see Androniki. Oh, I say Androniki. Hello from Cyprus. Very good to have some Greeks on the board. It's the friend of the Italian, the Greek. Eh? Yeah, the
100%.
friend of the Italian.
100%.
always. So, guys, I have done some research, and before we get into your racing stuff, because you guys are obviously racing the Audis now, and you've got the new Lamborghinis, which we're going to get into. There's Brendan saying being in any type of race vehicle is like a pressure release valve of note, he says. Absolutely. It's just like the speed and the G forces and the vibe. For me, it's being on stage is like that as well. I mean, it hasn't got the same G forces, but but the excitement is there, and that's what it drives a passion.
100%.
And I think that's obviously come from your dad as well, and from your grandfather. So I just did a bit of history here, and Aldo was telling me about the early history of the Formula One stuff, which really fascinated me. And there's some early Lotuses. There's a Lotus, that's a Lotus 21. I think that is the Lotus 21, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see on screen yet. I'm just trying to see. Okay, no. We're going to try and get it on the screen for you. But in 19, I'm gonna just check my notes here. But in 1959 to 61, okay, your grandfather had there we go. That's the Lotus. The Lotus 7. This is for Formula One, which was for me. If you think about it now, Formula One is like it's totally out of the picture. Yeah, out of reach for any guy now. I mean, whereas in the early days there were a lot of privateers, and your nono and your father were both privateers with this sort of stuff as well. What you're doing now as well in South Africa.
Yeah.
But to get into Formula One now is a hell of a thing.
It's virtually impossible.
It's impossible.
In South Africa.
Absolutely. So this between 1959 and 61. He sponsored 2 Lotus 7 sports cars. So these are the Lotus 7s here. And I think we've got there's a little accident I found to show about the safety that they had back then. I can't remember this guy's name. Was Allerton or something. He survived that, by the way. He scampered away after that crash. But I mean, this is what it was like. This is also there's I think at the time we're talking about guys like Jim Clark. I think that is Jim Clark in that Lotus 7 there.
Gino, if you look at the roll bar, you'll actually note that the rear roll bar is below the height of the helmet.
Yeah.
So if the car goes over, the roll bar is actually not doing anything.
I see that. I actually see that now.
Yeah.
Is that a safety feature?
That's meant to be a safety feature,
I
think it was absolutely non-existent. They were warriors in this era. To climb into a race car, you had to be a gladiator. They were considered gladiators to go out and race those cars.
For sure. I mean, look at that. That's also Lotus 7 there. It's just like and that's Neville's car.
That's Neville Ladeli.
Yes.
And he also raced that car for my grandfather.
Yes, yeah.
I think he ended up buying that car.
Okay.
Eventually, he's in the UK now.
Yes.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, I actually think the Neville has actually passed away like just recently. Just recently. I think it was him. Yeah. But I mean, that's the kind of car they were racing back then, and that was the top of the line.
That was the top of the line.
I mean, and those cars. I mean, I don't know if you guys played with cars when you were younger.
We all did the matchbox.
Those are the ones we played.
Exactly. And that's Dave Charlton.
Yes.
And I don't know if your dad must have known. Dave.
No, for sure. My dad was a youngster in those days. So
yes, of course.
He must have been 13, 14, 15 years old.
I don't know what engine that is. I don't know if you guys know.
No, just by looking at it.
V8. It's a V8, but I don't know what it is. And I know he rode those Lotuses for your grandfather, and I know that there was in 1960 there was Lotus 21, and I think that is the Lotus 21 if I'm not mistaken. That is a 1.5 liter straight 4, and then it was the Lotus Climax. I think it was the Climax engines that they put in there.
Yes.
I mean, look at that size of that motor.
It's basically a rocket launcher behind your back.
Yeah, exactly.
With a horizontal exhaust pipes.
Exactly. Unbelievable. Imagine the sound in that thing, and I mean the volume of that thing going. And I mean those wheels also they look pretty thick at the back there too. So you're trying to get as much grip as possible.
Yeah.
All rear-wheel driven, you see.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need the white tire for grip at the back.
Okay. So that's the story. I mean, the back steps out all the time. I would think.
Yeah.
And I mean, you drive those the Audis that you've got are
Four-wheel drive, yeah.
Four-wheel drive. So that makes it a little easier.
Bit
does.
easier, yeah.
Do you like the
And easier on tire wear as well.
okay.
And we like it in the wet.
In the wet.
Very good
Ah.
in the wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
They
four-wheel
like wet weather.
Okay. Excellent. Then I'm just going through a couple here because then it went on from the Lotus 21. This is a Brabham, the Brabham BT11. Now these are all cars that are owned by.
Yeah, over
by
the
Scribantes.
years, these were cars that my grandfather owned
Do
and
you ever
raced.
remember seeing these little bugs?
I mean, I was
It's
only born in
70s.
71, never hot.
I think
I might have been able to see with my eyes, but I didn't know what I was looking at.
don't you wish they'd kept them?
I just wished I was there in that
Yeah.
era because I just think it is fantastic history, you know.
I mean that is incredible. The Brabhams that's also that's a Lotus, that one there. I see the Lotus 21s.
Yeah.
Jack Brabham actually rode for your team as well. Did you even know that?
Well, we found out when we investigated all the history.
Yes, incredible.
I think he brought his car to South Africa. I can't remember what leg of it wasn't it was the South African Springbok series. I think
Okay,
if I can
okay.
remember. I don't think it was a
South African
F1 leg
yeah.
of the F1 championship. It was a Springbok series. He brought his car out and raced it. My granddad had actually arranged to buy the car from him and raced it on behalf of my granddad. I think that's
Well,
how.
okay,
But
okay.
he ended up buying Sir Jack Brabham's F1 car.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that is it. I think that is it.
not
If it
sure.
might not, there was a Brabham BT11 and there was a Repco V8 as well, which he drove then in the 1965. It's the 1965 Rand Grand Prix. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it. That even says Aldo Scribante there on the front.
Yeah, that was the Lucky Strike sponsorship.
Yes.
And the Lucky Strike sponsorship ran predominantly from I think 71 to 75. where
Okay.
they ran the Lucky Strike stickers,
Yes,
cigarette
yes.
company on the.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. And I remember the rally cars with the Lucky Strike as well.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
they were
same-
involved.
Same thing.
But that's got Aldo Scribante written right on the front there.
I
That's
think one of those cars is in the museum for British American racing
Yes.
now today. It's in their museum. One of those. cars.
I think that's one of those, and
Could be
that
that
is
car.
that's the BT11, the red car, also written by Dave Charlton.
yeah.
But now there was something that I've just left out here, and I just took I did a little printed out a little thing. It's the front. It's the grid. I've got the grid of the starting grid of the 1965 Formula One.
FIA World Championship.
World Championship, which you guys, your family was involved in, which was Dave Charlton was driving the. Let's see, he was it's Neville Liddell.
Neville the Durley.
Dilladurley was riding the Lotus 21 Climax, but the starting grid, okay, and I mean, for those of you who know Formula One, the starting grid for a team and we've got a couple of privateers in as well, but they are starting here with John Surtees, Lorenzo Bandini, Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart on his debut Grand Prix in South Africa. This was in East London, by the way, as well, which is
The Grand Prix circuit
That
in
actually-
East London.
it's
Yeah.
actually a freaker. East London. Jim Clark, who's world champion, I don't know how many times, obviously, as well. Mike Spence, Jack Brabham, Bruce McLaren, I've got here, John Love, Tony Maggs, I see Paul Hawkins, who's this? Let's see, down the bottom here, Graham Hill, and Dave Charlton, David Clapham, Brian Robbenheimer. These are names synonymous with Formula One worldwide.
I think that was their best finish.
Yes.
In a F1 leg of the South African Championship.
Yes, and Scribante, Scuderia Scribante came sixth.
Unbelievable.
My God, in the points. Hey? How was that?
Unbelievable.
And I think that was the last time they made the top
Yeah.
10.
But that's okay. I mean,
It became more and more professional after that.
you know, and I think it's the money that's involved. I mean,
100%.
as you guys know, it's almost a business for you guys. I would think, you know, to have these things as well.
Yeah.
It's and you're very very involved in racing. So now we're getting to the point. Brendan Kelly, Sylvia, please give us an insight into driving the Chevron.
B26.
There's the B26. How is that?
Yeah, look, the Chevron, look, it's a sports and GT car, so it's not a saloon car, it's not a GT car, it's like a single seat. It is a single seater. It only weighs 500 kgs.
500.
It's paddle shift. It's got a Hayabusa engine, which is a Suzuki engine with but basically a V engine with a common crank.
Okay, so it's two Hayabusa engines.
Yeah, two engines in one common crank.
The bike guys will know that.
And it's a V8, and it's look, it's really quick, and I mean it's exciting to drive. I mean I think until Thursday was probably the most exciting car I've ever driven.
Oh right. Funny you say that because so the Chevron. I don't know if I've got a picture of the Chevron, but I will try and find one later. But in the meantime, I've got a video because I was lucky enough now to go to on Thursday. You guys invited me out there and to see the new Lamborghinis. And you guys are obviously getting them from Joburg, from a guy called Charles. I don't know his surname.
Charles Ranges.
So we bought them from Shaw.
From Charles, yes.
Stradale Motorsport.
Stradale.
Another Italian name.
Yes.
But not Italian.
Yes, yeah, Stradale, because I think of the Alfa Romeos, which is the Stradale, the Alfa Romeo Stradale is a beautiful car as well. It looks like that. The P4, for those of you who watched that movie with the GT40s, what is it called?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. The Ferrari, I think, is the winner there because it just looks so beautiful. And I think your uncle has got the Dino, which is very similar looking.
Yeah.
The Ferrari Dino.
That's a 1969 Dino. I think a 1969 Dino Ferrari.
It's just a perfect time.
My grandfather bought that car and told his sons, you never sell this car.
You'll never sell the car.
So it's still in the family today.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm happy to hear. I'm sure that thing must be worth upwards of 10 million.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just ridiculous. It is, such a beautiful car. But I've got some footage that I'm going to show you now of the my Thursday visit with the Lamborghini. So let's have a look.
This one is
sail the track together, then it becomes a competition. Fantastic. Now we managed to get some drinks in the meantime, but those and coming in, those cars were absolutely phenomenal. They were saying that the revs, one should rev a little higher than the other. The Evo.
Look, the cars are the one's a 2019 model and the other one's a 2017 model, if I'm not mistaken.
16. Yeah.
Okay.
And the only real difference between the two is the body kit.
Yeah.
On the 2019 is the Evo spec, and it's also got different suspension and also different engine.
Okay.
So
engine too.
The engine's different on the two cars. Aldo's engine will
rev harder, it revs higher,
much higher.
Yes.
and Silvio's rev range is a lot lower, but produces more torque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, same power.
Yeah, so you're
But
actually just saving the motor.
Yeah.
You're producing the same power at less rev
Less motor.
Yeah.
So you have to rev yours a little higher.
to achieve
get
the
it,
same.
same.
Yeah. The tongue's hanging out a bit more.
Yes. But I see when you were coming down the straight, the tone, the sound was pretty much the same, you know.
No, it sounds awesome in the car as well.
Yeah.
To listen to that engine change.
I'm sure.
With a pedal shift, it's wonderful.
Okay, so a pedal shift. And so literally pretty much
You've
automatic.
got a left-hand brake
Yeah.
and a right-hand accelerator.
Okay, that's it.
And an up and down pedal shift, basically.
Yeah.
So it allows you to concentrate on driving
Yeah.
and getting the line right. You know, with not too much removing your hand from the steering wheel onto a
And
manual
clutch.
shift with a clutch, like the Audis, 6-speed manual gearbox with a clutch. There's a lot going on at the same time, and those Lambos just allow you to concentrate on putting the perfect lap together.
And they're also very electrical though. So I mean, these Lambos have got traction control, which you can adjust on your steering wheel. There's a knob that you dial. You just go more traction, less traction, whatever you feel while you're driving. And also you can adjust the ABS settings. So if you want braking a little bit more aggressive, less aggressive.
Wow. Okay.
So it's very electronic. So it's state of the art in that
I
respect.
noticed you got a whole bunch of stuff on the left and right, which confused the crap out of me.
Yeah, we're still confused. We've got to learn them.
We
It's
gotta
like
study.
a manual. We've got to study, but
Yeah.
but truly, I mean, Gino, it's an unbelievable car to drive. I mean, the way the thing handles, the way it just, the whole balance of the car. I mean, although we've never experienced brakes that are just so responsive. You know, we never had one. We were pushing as hard as we could on that brake pedal, but not one wheel would even lock up. You know, which is unheard of. And you know.
Yes.
There's also a biased setting, so you can adjust your brake pressures front to back to get the balance right. You know.
Yes, sir.
But they are truly race-crafted machines. They're built for 24-hour Le Mans races.
Okay.
And
For endurance.
For endurance, and probably my biggest aspect was the comfort of the car.
Really?
And I think I mentioned to you as well that while sitting in that car driving, all I needed was a little bit of Andre Bocelli in my helmet, and I could have actually fallen asleep maybe in that car. It was so easy to drive. It was crazy.
Donald's asking me a turn. I haven't had a turn in the Lambo yet because I only got one seat, Donald. Only one seat, so I couldn't get in there. But we're working on it. We're getting a couple more drinks and we'll see how they go. I watched Silvio and Franco last year at the Festival of Motoring at Kawakami.
That must be Carlo.
Kailami, I think, yes. Kawakami, have another drink there, Natasha. And, yes, absolutely. Barry Robinson has his most exciting days with the
From the
go-karts.
karting days.
Tell me about the karting. Because, I mean, that must have given you the grounding for doing this stuff as well.
Yeah, look, I think, believe it or not, the very start, if we have to rewind right to the start, it was my cousin Franco that phoned my dad, because my dad was involved in karting from the age of 21.
Yeah.
up until about 30. Then he gave it up and he came back at 40. So 10 years later, he came back and Franco phoned him and said, Uncle Cholso, please take those go-karts that are in the rafters. We grew up at Swartkops with these carts packed in the rafters and we never took note of them.
Yes.
And anyway, he took them down and Franco came to PE. He took us to the track. There were still Perillas. Perilla engines with Perilla chassis. They had Mari biscuit tyres. My God, that was something to drive. And so we cut our teeth on that.
Wow.
And that's how it started. That was in 1983. 1983. So
Okay. Standard 4 you were.
yeah, so basically from 1983 we raced go-karts. I raced go-karts until 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Jeez.
stopped in 2001. I think Silvio's career, you can talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
'Cause I mean, these things go. I mean, those go-karts don't stop.
Yeah, look, it's the best grounding for any motorsport, Gino, is to start off in a go-kart because it teaches you the basics. It's relatively, barrier of entry is relatively affordable, especially the new 4-stroke series that started. So it's really any racing driver, including Formula 1 world champion Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, yeah.
Started in go-karts
They all
because it's
do.
the best grounding. So
You often see if you go on your Facebook, you'll see Hamilton racing against Verstappen, but while they were still in carts. I love it. And it's aggressive and hectic, you know. It's like they don't, because I suppose the danger is slightly less.
but you can turn the go-karts over,
Really?
which I know about.
Oh, really?
I think Franco and I know about it. If I think back, I don't think Silvio's landed on his helmet before. But yeah, it can be dangerous.
Okay.
But yeah, without a doubt, anybody with aspirations of getting into motorsport has to start in go-karts. It is the best foundation.
Okay.
All the basics, all the principles.
Is it quite easy to get into? I mean,
Like Silvio mentioned, there's a 4-stroke series currently that Michael Stevens is running. It's a corporatized event, 4 participants per go-kart or 2 per go-kart.
I see. Okay.
It's an endurance series, so they're 1-hour races. The most affordable form of motorsport in South Africa, as far as an entry-level class goes.
so for people that are keen, I mean, is there a go-kart club here as well? Did you guys know? I mean, is a club at Scribante or at Chelsea Scribante?
Chelsea Scribante,
The smaller one.
the smaller one there.
Out on Victoria Drive.
Victoria.
Yeah, Victory.
Yeah, so I mean the entry there. I mean you buy a second-hand go-kart for 20,000 rand and you go racing, and the tires will last you 4 or 5 meetings.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an endurance race, so you race for 60 minutes non-stop,
Okay.
and you have compulsory 2 pit stops.
Okay, have to.
Driver changes.
You're refueling.
Okay.
Yeah, so it makes it exciting, and I think endurance racing really is. I don't know, but for me, endurance racing is the way. Is really the way of the future. I think, you know.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, your dad and yourself, and you guys are South African champions with the stuff your dad was as well. I think a couple of years.
I think between the 3 of us, we've got 6 SA championships in 125 GP Grand Prix carts. I have 1. Our dad has, Chelso has 2,
Yes.
and Silvio has 3.
Yeah, 3 in
You always have to
karting
be
and
ahead of the pack.
Yeah, you know.
He's had this problem all his life.
Well, this guy was over competitive, you know. You know, I think Aldo just gained a little bit more weight sooner. You know, that's why he couldn't get that.
That's what held me back.
It held you back.
It held me back, definitely. Without a doubt.
Oh man, and I see because so your dad and you guys were into karting. I mean, so when you left karting, were you racing cars already at that stage, or?
No, kind of. Aldo stopped when he finished, and then I kind of didn't want to stop, and then went to my old man and asked him if I could go car racing, and he said no.
No, same as his dad. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Well, if
And I
I
think it was
remember, you tried to raise a sponsorship with Dad, and you came with a whole corporatized deal. I still remember sitting at the dinner table there, and Silvio had a fantastic business plan on the table, which took about an hour to go through. I won't mention who was involved with it, but yeah. But listen, I got 110% for effort.
Yes.
So I just sat and listened for the entire hour, and then my old man didn't say a word. So I was basically on the fence. I wasn't sure where he was going to go with this, and at the end, He basically summed it up in a few sentences by saying, Silvio, if you want to go motor racing, you race finance.
So you knew it was virtually impossible. It's so funny because my son tried something like that on me as well, but it was I can't remember what it was for. It was he wanted something, and he also brought a PowerPoint presentation to me. And I was like,
It's ambitious.
no.
Ambitious.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it, and if you really care about it, I love it.
But motorsport, unfortunately, Gino, motorsport's in your blood. There's just no other way of describing it, because we've been exposed to it from a young age. So we've been listening to my grandfather and my dad talk cars and motorsport, and over the years, and obviously with the indoctrination into the karting, it was a great foundation. And it's just, if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. You're going to pursue it later in life as well. And for us, it's just a complete escape from our normal environment.
You guys had no chance, really. We were going to go and get into it because, I mean, with your dad and your grandpa, it's this whole thing about the legend builds in your mind, and then you want to do it.
Well, we took two different paths, Silvio. I mean, Silvio and I started in karts, and I think, I don't know, in 93, when did you leave for cars? You did production cars for many years.
Yeah.
Production cars.
Yeah, so I went in our race. I was lucky enough to get a test drive for Opel Motorsport in the Group N, the Stanley Group N days, and then and that's how I got into racing for them, and I raced for them for about 6 years. Raced various cars, the Opel Kadett 140R won the SA Champs my first year in that, and then I would race the Opel Kadett 1600. That was a 1400 I raced. Then I went to race the 1600. Then I raced the 1800, and then I raced the Astra 2 litre, and then I did a stint in the touring car series then, where Opel had the Vectra, the Opel Vectras. You had the BMWs, you had the Nissan Primeras.
Yes.
So I did like probably half a year there in that series, and then they pulled plug on the series, and that's when basically was at the pinnacle of motorsport in South Africa, and then they stopped the touring car series at the end of that same year, and then it's kind of like done a bit of a downward spiral, I'd say, motorsport, because I think it's got a lot to do with economy
is also,
the manufacturers, and you know how many cars they sell. So. Yeah, and that's how I got into motorsport, and then of late, I mean, actually from then I then actually got into Polo Cup. Believe it or not, my cousin Franco and myself were teammates, and we bought 2 polos, and we went Polo Cup racing, and he managed to secure Bell Equipment sponsorship at the time.
Fantastic.
So
Eventually, finance.
Eventually,
Finance.
and it's come through, and
An historic moment.
He was so. I mean from there, the Audi's probably been the most fun for you guys. I mean, I'm saying like.
Well, the Audi story happened in 2016.
Okay.
Where I phoned Silvio. I said, "Listen, I need to come and have a whiskey with you." We had just shut down.
so it was good.
Yes.
Let's have a whiskey.
Excellent. Love it.
So went over to his place, sat down, and said, Terry Moss, that runs the production cars, the Engine Extreme production cars, is selling the works team, the whole package, and let's look at these cars, because we could use them as corporate cars, especially on the concrete side, as far as advertising. And having an open day, invite clients, put a passenger chair in, take clients around. I said to Silvio of something and saying, thank you for the support. Put him in the car, take him around for 2 laps.
Give him a nappy.
Put his adrenaline through the roof. No, I don't know. Well, I think there were some nappies as well. So put his adrenaline through the roof, and then say thank you for the support. And I mean, we've done 3 client days. Tremendously successful. So the idea behind the Audis were for client days. And while we're driving them, we're enjoying them so much that we said to my dad, listen, Dad, who had never been in cars like myself, I chose the path of karts and never decided to do cars because I enjoyed the karts. And my dad also never went towards cars. We said, Dad, the 2 of us, we're going to be teammates. we're going to partake in the Algoa Motorsport Class A Regional Championships.
Yeah.
And we're going to enjoy ourselves.
Yes.
So that's what we did for 2017, 2018. And my dad, at the age of 74, won the championship 2 years in a row.
Oh my soul.
He
beat you.
He beat me. Yeah.
I beat you.
And he beat everyone else in the class as well. I won't mention other names. No, but it was inspirational, absolutely inspirational, because we know how much hard work it is in those vehicles to keep them on a consistent pace. And, no, it was inspirational too.
Oh, it's fantastic to have that with your dad. You know that whole
that
time
memory
together.
and that time, unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that Franco and yourself, the hill climb, the Simola hill climb has been a big thing as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a video of one of the hill climbs. I want to see. I think let's do Franco's one. Let's have a look at Franco's hill climb. This was in the Nissan.
Yeah.
It was in the Nissan. And
They
check this
call
out.
They call it the Sheriff.
The sheriff.
That's its nickname. Yeah. That's the one with the wing in the
Yes,
front.
the wing in the front.
GTR of the wing. Yeah.
What is that? It's obviously for downforce. That whole thing.
For downforce. Yeah.
Okay.
That car, I'm under correction, and Frank, don't get upset with me if I get the numbers wrong here, but the downforce, I think it's like 3 or 4 tons of downforce on that car.
Good Lord.
Just in the front.
No, overall, between
overall.
the rear wing and the front wing, it's an incredible amount of downforce. I think it's 4 tons. I think it's 1 ton per wheel of downforce generation with the aero kit he's got on that
So
car.
it's pushing into the ground.
So as fast as
at
you
one
drive
time.
forward, you actually can push down.
Oh my soul. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, that's the one.
Maybe this is like a pipe. He's taking as soon as he's out, right? Need one person.
That's the one. Yes, that is so scary. You're saying no room for error.
Well, the hill climb is zero room for error. If you make an error, you're gonna go off and damage the car, and hopefully not yourself.
Have you ever been off there?
No, I know what he wants.
Oh, you just
Yeah, I know he's baited me. Yeah, so in 2017, as a rookie, I went up the hill on my very first run, and when I got to the top of the hill, I never saw the finish line and carried on. Only to land up in the bush, but luckily the trees managed to catch me before I went over the edge of the cliff, because there's a massive drop-off in Simola. Luckily, we had a team of mechanics that could rebuild the front of the car and the right suspension that was damaged. So yeah, I actually completed the event, believe it or not.
But you just afterwards.
Yeah,
It was like,
I just had to pull my eyeballs closed
Yeah.
again because they were a bit stretched.
you ever
So,
seen
yeah.
that movie Silver Dream Racer? Where you know, remember the Silver Dream Machine was the katana. Where at the end of the race he finishes and he wins and he goes yeah, and then he crashes.
It was actually ridiculous because my dad was sitting in the pits watching the live monitor, and there was a delay in the event, and the safety cars were going up the hill. And then he was saying to everyone, "It can't be Aldo's posted a time. Aldo's posted a time. That means you break after the finish line." No, he didn't.
Aldo
I
carried
actually
on.
ended up in the bush. I'll never let that one down.
Yeah, I never live it down.
Never live it down.
I can see that. I see
Yeah.
Lance Duplessis. If anyone wants to tag Lance Duplessis on this as well, he won't feel alone because Lance also crashed a beautiful Renault, I think it was at the time, 2016 as well.
Yeah.
He went into the tires somewhere along the way, took off the traction control and lost it.
It can be nasty.
It's
if
heavy.
it goes wrong. Yeah.
We've also got one of Silvio's hill climbs, but this is a different one. You say Joburg.
Yeah, this is in Thunderbell Park. It's called the Emerald Speed Festival. So both Aldo and I competed, and
So who won?
Yeah, actually, Record Roots won.
No, I'm talking about a
CTR.
YouTube.
No, I had problems.
YouTube?
I was
Aldo had
out
a
for the
misfire,
week-
unfortunately.
weekend.
He had electrical problems, and the car was cutting out and stuff,
okay,
so it wasn't launching off the line. So,
Alright,
but
But
I mean,
Silvio got a top 10, eh?
yeah,
What did you get, an 8th?
a 7th overall. We
7,
finished,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We can watch it here. Let's have
I
a look.
wonder if someone on our team maybe can just try and find out what is the exact procedure of the running order. But let's go. First man out, Silvio Scribante. He's the first car on the grid. Bit of a surprise to us, but let's see.
Master of Here we go. Away as they head out towards turn 1. This is what it's all about now. Throw everything out the window. It all counts on this run. And it is Silvio Scribante to light the circuit up first in the Scribante Concrete Audi Supercharged Quattro heading through turn 3. A great start, and you can hear that car now. Nothing held back at all this time out for Scribante as he comes down to the braking point into turn 4. Perfect line through there. Nice continued action and good revs down the gearbox. Straight line through the bus stop and to the line to set the mark. The benchmark will be Scribante. He crosses the line and sets the benchmark and gets the first run in the bag for Master of the Mile. 36.832.
36.8.
Crazy. That is just insane. I don't know how you do it. I mean, both of you. To be so close to the edge there, all the time. It's just total concentration.
The problem with that, Gino, is those bloody tire walls on the sides of the track, because it's literally those tire walls. The tires have been put on top of barrier curbs.
Okay.
So you kind of like, if you hit the tire wall, you're going to take your front suspension out at the same time. So the road, you don't have a lot of room, and the road's quite narrow as well. So it's daunting.
What speed you do up the hill?
We were probably doing close to about, I'd say, close to 200. In actual fact, it was about 200 at the end of at the finish line.
It's probably just over 200 because the track doesn't allow you to
see,
obtain a very high speed.
Yeah.
They keep it. They
had
very
that little
tight.
chicane just before
Yes,
the finish
slow
line,
you
so
down.
you slow down. So,
Okay. Yo. That is.
But I tell you what, on Saturday it was raining.
Give everyone some insight on the Audi Turbo.
Did he do the conversion?
Now Byron is our motorsport manager.
All right,
That's why I
okay.
caught it there when it came.
Oh, nice.
He's our team manager.
So-
he runs our team. He prepares our cars together.
Okay.
He's got guys under him, but
Yes.
he's a team manager. And
Okay.
so yeah,
So tell us about the Audi Turbo conversion.
I'll handle.
Yeah, look, I mean that's a long story. I've been ridiculed many
really?
times
Oh,
on
really?
this. Silvio's had his reservations, and a lot of our team have had their reservations. And look, we started this project 2 years ago, and we bought the car standard as superchargers. So the Audi S4 four-wheel drive
Okay.
comes out as a supercharged engine.
Okay.
So what we went and did, on the advices of some very clever people in Port Elizabeth,
Yes.
was remove the supercharger and build a turbo conversion onto the V6 3-litre
Yes.
Audi engine. The amount of development, I could probably be talking here for probably an hour. So we'll just fast forward it. But we've done a tremendous amount of development on it. It's allowed the Audis to have a better top speed, which was the problem with the supercharger. With the supercharger engine, we could always obtain on the Scribante straight, which is considered a very short straight in South African racing terms. We could obtain a top speed of about 228 kilometers, which is very slow when you're talking top speed.
It's quite fast for me.
Yeah, but with the Audi conversion, we up to 249 kilometers at the break point. So
Okay.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
But there is a but.
Yeah.
The reliability.
Ah.
So we've pushed the engine beyond its comfort zone,
Yeah.
which has been a continuous problem for
Okay.
us. But we've, over the 2 years, we've been refining it and refining it. It has been improving and improving.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet. We still got more modifications, and we'll be ready for the next hill climb with that car.
With those cars, okay.
With that same four-wheel drive.
So both the Audis are going to go for the Simola.
Well, we're not sure
Yes,
what
which
Silvio might. I think Silvio's style is more like Lamborghini. I'm not sure.
At the moment, we might be going Lamborghini now.
I don't know. Let's see.
But no,
It might be an option, eh?
Yeah, it might be an option.
yeah. Although those tires.
I'd like to drill him in the Audi, actually.
Okay.
I'd like to drill him, yeah.
That'll be nice.
It'll be good, yeah.
You know, there's always a bit of competition. My brother Marco is also. Whenever we're together doing something, there's always a little bit of a competition got to happen.
It pushes each other. It pushes
does.
you, makes you,
does.
more driven.
Yeah.
But my dad is the culprit here. Because from when I can remember walking, it was a competition. He created the competition between Silvio and myself. It was like, who can walk the furthest? Who can stand up? Who can do this? Who can do that? So we were just conditioned to compete. And
But with all
which is a good thing.
But with
eh?
all respect to Dad, I mean,
Yeah.
he, in his way of bringing us up,
Yes.
we today compete against each other. We work together
Yes.
as business partners, and we live as neighbors. We are neighbors to each other,
You know, it's
and
like
we are still
best friends.
best friends.
It's
100%,
amazing. It's
yes,
amazing.
to
And
Dad.
that's to Dad, yeah.
Yes, to Dad. 100%.
Fantastic.
Dad
You know,
and Mom, eh?
And
both my
Mom.
parents.
Ziapina,
Ziapina.
Giuseppina, we love you. You love you, Ziapina. I love you. And I know my father spoke so highly of your folks as well. And I think is what I'm going to do is there's a little video of your dad which I just love because your dad's been locked down. Chelsea has been locked down during COVID. Obviously, you know, being older, and I just asked him to say a word or two about the karting and his history with his dad as well, with Aldo Senior, and I just the emotion that came through. He just told us a couple of basic things, but you can see the emotion coming from behind, from everything that he's thinking about with this, and it was quite. And I'm going to show you this because it was just lovely. You see, Chelsea. I'm going to just show you a little video that he sent for us.
Ciao, Gino. One knows the history of my dad racing. I was always with him at the racing events, and with obviously an intention that one day I would be one of his drivers. When the time came, and I actually had the courage to ask him, what about me as a driver? Unfortunately for me, he had just lost his brother in a road accident. So, you know what the answer was a definite never. When I was 21, I was presented with a go-kart as a present, and he said, listen, my boy, do this form of motor racing, which I did. And I must admit, I got everything out of motor racing. And that's basically it, you know, and always been involved in motor racing, got my boys, Aldo and Silvio, started karting, then the bug bit again, and I restarted. So when I did start, it was 1965, and when I ended, Just trying to remember what the date was. I was 45 at that time. 45, yeah. Well, I retired from karting at 45. So that's basically it. And then we did a little bit of saloon car racing in the Audis. Won 2 EP assisted championships with the help of my teammate Aldo.
And in the karting 1 to 5 championships.
Yeah, we had won 2 SA championships in the 1 to 5 kart categories.
And then I see there's a helmet there next to you, Dad.
Yeah, this with an Alfa Romeo badge there was my dad's.
Race helmet.
Yeah.
When he used to race the Alpha back in the 50s.
In the late 50s, early 60s.
It's
So
awesome.
I've treasured it.
Awesome. I'm going to take that helmet over from Dad one day.
No, good.
Thanks, Dad, for sharing your story with us.
Shame, man. I just want to go and hug him. Chelsea, I want to come and hug you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Oh, you know.
Thanks for drawing tears.
I know. You see that? You see that? I just, you know, you're going through the motions, but actually, there's so much history there, and so much tie in with the family. That I think this is what the racing thing is for you guys. It's the family connection. It's what keeps you guys together, you know?
No, definitely. I mean, really, I think that's why Aldo and I are pretty tearful right now, is because, you know, we understand my dad's passion, where he's coming from, because we were there with it.
You're there with it, you know, you're there with it. And what a fantastic opportunity for you guys to share that with your dad. And still, I mean, with the Lamborghinis, I'm sure he's going to love them. You know, I remember, and when I come out to the racetrack there as well, he's always talking about something. There's something on the horizon. There's something new. I'm going to look at that, and I love the accent. My uncles and my dad spoke with the same accent. It's like Afrikaans, but it's not Afrikaans. It's Italian. They roll their R's as well as the Afrikaners, like that.
Well, I was with my dad yesterday, and he said to me, you know, unfortunately I wasn't feeling too well on Thursday, but I'd already packed my bag and my helmet, my racing suit, to jump into the Lambos and take it for a ride.
I'm sure.
So that day's still coming.
It's going to come.
So Aldo and I are looking forward to that day.
No, it's going to happen.
No, it's going to happen soon.
100%.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've got a video here of Charles, the guy that you're getting the Lamborghinis from. He's going to just explain these Lamborghinis. So let's have a look at Charles' story about the Lamborghinis. Charles, you've got a company up in Joburg and you sort out these Lamborghinis.
Yep.
These two cars. What have we got here?
Yeah, well, you've got 2 Lamborghini Hurricane GT3s. One is the original.
This one is.
We call that the pre-Evo, and then you've got the Evo that.
The Evo, yeah. Silvio's in, yeah.
Yes. So basically, essentially the one is a 2015 spec, or Gen 3 GT3, which runs a 5.2 litre V10 sequential gearbox. The Evo is just evolution of that car, which runs slightly different engine configuration. Well, it's the same motor, just different camshafts and lower RPM. So this the Evo revs 1,500 less. Has more torque though. So you know,
more power. In the bottom end, yeah.
You're looking at 520 horsepower on both cars. And but yeah, essentially the biggest difference is the torque on this one, and 30% more downforce. Different electronics. It's just it's a 2020 spec car, which is it's just a better version of that one.
So we should see these two racing better, a little bit quicker.
Yes.
The coming year.
Exactly. The two brothers are dicing each other quite nicely. So I'm happy if they actually.
Nice.
If you look at the smiles, then
yes, you know,
I did my job well.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you very much.
There we go. So that's those two beautiful Lamborghinis, and now that's the GT3. That's the GT3 series. And are you guys looking at starting something there?
Something very exciting for South African motorsport on the GT3 horizon.
Yeah.
And for the first time in 2021, South Africa will have a GT3 championship series, which is quite historic.
Yeah.
Which has prompted us to invest in these GT3 cars.
Okay.
So yeah, to have GT3 cars racing in South Africa is going to be iconic, I think.
What other cars are there? I mean, I know you've got the Lamborghinis. That's the Huracan, the Hurricane.
The series so far, we've obviously got a big WhatsApp group and a big internet group, and we're trying to formulate rules. And obviously, the idea is one selected tire.
Yeah.
Restrictions on FIA rules.
Okay.
So basically what the FIA does between generation 1 cars to generation 4 cars,
yes,
they level the playing fields,
okay,
by putting restrictors into the carburetors, etc., okay, and maximum boosts for the cars that have turbos, etc., etc.
Yes.
So they kind of level the playing fields with the cars, and we're trying to introduce GT3 series into South Africa whereby everything's regulated with a common tyre, which will make for exciting racing. And the cars, you got the McLaren 570s, you got Aston Martin Vantage V12s, you got the I don't think there's Porsche 997s,
AMG Merc.
I don't think there's an AMG in South Africa. You got Dodge Vipers. You got R8s, Audi R8s, obviously the Lamborghini Hurricanes, Lamborghini Trofeos. What have I left out, Silvio?
BMW,
Ferrari 430s.
Ferrari,
430s.
488.
You got a 488. You got a 458.
Wow. Okay.
So we've got. I mean, across the spectrum, South Africa has the cars. They are here.
Sure. So how many cars do we have for the series next year?
We've got, I believe, 14 cars committed to the series so far, but
that's fantastic. I mean, to see Lamborghinis, Ferraris, these McLarens, Porsches, these things all racing each other. That's exciting stuff.
And I think one step further, what they're also going to do is they're going to put, so whoever wins has to put 50 kgs of ballast, lead, onto him. So it slows him down, to bring him closer to the pack.
Okay.
Just make the racing closer.
Otherwise, you guys would just eat a little bit more. And then it'll be...
Well, that would be a better deal.
Yeah. That's my brother's
Give the fat jokes to Aldo. Donald Thomas, great to see a family with so much love and respect for each other. Absolutely. I see that. And your dad, I'm sure he's going to love these Lamborghinis as well. It's like but I was interested to hear about the tires as well, because the tires, it sounds like the tires are like the main cost in these things. It costs a fortune for these tires. You have one manufacturer then?
One regulated tire and a nominated amount of sets. So in other words, for one race weekend, one set of tires or 1.5 sets of tires marked, and that's it. And it's all about cost reduction.
But you see, the tire manufacturer is going to get involved in the series. It's actually going to be a kind of like a series sponsor.
Oh, great.
So the tires will come at reduced cost.
Oh, lovely. Okay. That does help.
So there's a lot of talk in the background and a lot of negotiations, but I just think it'll be totally historic for South Africa to host a GT3 grid with all the exotic cars within 1 second from first to last.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, if we could get that right, it would be fantastic.
And also, I think just to add on that is that this is an MSA national status class.
Okay.
So you will become a South African champion out of this class.
Okay.
Plus, on top of that, you can compete against the best in the world because the cars are spec GT3. So, as you know, there's a Kyalami 9-hour coming up now on the 12th of December. That's an international event.
Okay.
Our cars qualify to enter there.
Excellent. Right. So everybody watching, 12th. They say 12th of December. 12th of December. let's support and support the Scribantes.
We won't be competing.
I won't be in this one.
This
Okay.
one, but next year. for
But
sure.
a very good point that Silvio's raised in the fact that if a GT3 series is running from January up until October next year, you might find that in the 9-hour Kyalami event, you might find 5 South African teams competing, which is great for South Africa.
Yeah, fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So that's an international one.
It's a World Championship event.
It's one leg of the GT3 World Championship series that they have at Kyalami in South Africa.
That's amazing. So that's like Formula One coming back again.
It's like one leg of the
GT3.
Formula One Championship coming back, but it's GT3 specification.
And it's big in Europe, the GT3.
Massive, yeah.
And I just love the fact that it's all supercars and it really looks
Well,
good.
that's why it will become, this class, GD3, will become the premier form of motorsport in South Africa, without a doubt.
Yeah. What kind of speeds are you getting with the Lamborghinis on the track? What do you
240?
240. Less than my Audi.
Oh, at the moment.
Less than my Audi.
At the moment.
But you must
less
remember
than
that the Lamborghini in the FIA restriction is restricted. So in other words, they put a restrictor on the carburetor. You can't get the full amount of air
the
in.
petrol.
So
Can't get
the
that
air,
juice.
the air. They restrict the air inflow. So it's all
Oh
worked.
my word. Philip is asking you if your kids race.
Yes, my son has started go-karting. He absolutely loves it. Marco is his name.
Big man. Marco.
Big man Marco.
Oh, is that Big Man Marco?
That was Big man Marco.
Okay.
And he likes that because he's about a head taller than me. So he looks down at the family. But he's only 17 years of age. So he's funny enough on our side of the family, on Francesca, our sister.
Yes, the sister.
Silvio, myself, he's the only boy.
Okay.
So he's got a lot of pressure on him now. So he's taken to the go-karts. He loves the go-karts, and he's coming along very well. This lockdown has not been very kind to motorsport, so we haven't done much racing this year, but I'm sure it will improve in the future. We're just waiting for the international vaccines to come. Come so we can just go back to normality. And he loves the go-karts, and I keep on saying to him, boy, you must remember, master the go-karts, master the 1 to 5 shifter class, and then the Audis are waiting for you. We'll breed him in the Audis, and then and I actually said to him, when was it, 2 nights ago, we had our shakedown on Thursday at the track, and I said to him, you know what, boy, I must tell you that I know your future. There is a Lamborghini test run lined up for you in the future, but it's going to be some way down the line. So just keep that in the back of your mind and concentrate on your schoolwork and your career, but concentrate on your motorsport as well.
To get it in. It's fantastic.
No, I didn't have to. I just left it there. I think it went in.
It does. The legacy will continue. And your daughter, you got a daughter as well.
Yeah,
she's not so into it yet.
No, look, I think she's definitely got the ability to race, because I've seen her drive a go-kart on a racetrack, just on a social level, but she's definitely got the ability. And but I think at this point in time she's quite content with not getting involved in motorsport at this point. So
it's probably not cool for a girl at this stage either, you know.
I think it's very cool.
I think it's
I think
fantastic.
it's very cool, but my daughter's a dancer, and I love it. Sienna.
Oh, Sienna. Very nice, very nice. Guys, I mean, I don't know if I see there's Julian Warmler said Jody Scheckter also started with the go-karts as well. I think Ian Scheckter was involved at the time with when your dad was racing the Formula One stuff as well.
I've always got the theory. It's just all theoretical. But I often speak to my dad and I say, you know, Dad, that my dad, I think, is a little bit a couple of years ahead of Jody.
Yeah.
And I always say to him, Dad, had your dad allowed you the opportunity to go out onto the circuit and experience racing, maybe, who knows, and we know our dad the way we know him.
He's the last of the late breakers.
Oh, really?
At the end of the main straight, You see my old man
There's a
diving like crazy.
There's like no brakes. I've seen him in the 2 years I raced with him. I've seen him go past me about 3 car lengths. I didn't know where he was going, but then he takes the bend as well. And I had a theory on that as well, that I think the older you get, the braver you become in life. That you're not worried about. You feel
Doesn't
this.
care.
You feel this the older you get. So yeah, we're very happy that my dad's retired.
Yeah.
He's safe now.
He's
and,
safe.
yeah, we're very happy about
We're
it.
going to do it. Just having
But-
those 2 Hurricanes and P is a massive boost to the racing in our region. Well done, Team Scribante.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Brendan. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. It's amazing, and it's something to get excited about and look forward to. I'm so pleased. I'm going to be there many times. I'm going to be there.
Thank you.
But guys, I don't know if there's any other photos that we got. We can chuck in the background or something. We'll see if we can slot some into the background. I've got and some interesting photos. Let's have a quick look before we disappear. I would like to take some cool photos of those Lambos. Call me. You have to go to the still there, Gary. There we go. That looks good, huh? You've got it halfway in between there. Let's go. There we go. That's better. That looks okay. That's the Lotus. I see under your thing that says Scribante underneath there as well. That must be Neville having a guy in the car. What else?
Well, look, the early days in the 60s, we had Lionel Rowe.
Yeah.
Lionel Rowe,
Yes.
and the second driver. There were 2 Lotuses. Do me a
favour.
favour. Just have a
Right
look.
here, tell
In
you
the
what.
early 60s, Lionel Rowe.
Lionel and Dennis Gascott.
Dennis Gascott. There we go.
Dennis Gascott.
In the early 60s.
Look at that. That's the starting grid. Look
Yeah.
at that. Just below you there. That
That's
looks
the
like your-
start of a F1 South
Brabham.
African Championship.
That's it. That's your car there. The white and red.
Yeah, if
in the
I
front.
it looked like
It's
they were second on the grid there.
Yeah, there we go.
That was love. I think it was love
That's
on the left.
love. It's
think it
love
was-
indeed.
It was love on the second. I think the Zimbabwean driver.
Yes.
The correction.
Okay. Yes. That's your nono.
That's our nono.
That's Aldo Scribante.
Yeah.
There's Aldo. And
That's
that's
my
your
dad.
dad. That's your dad there in his cot.
Now, that was a championship. He was running the number 1 plate, so he was the current reigning
Reigning champ. There's your papa.
Yeah, we always remember the moustache.
Yes, yeah, the handlebars that going on there. It's like, it was the
Definitely
70s.
from this.
This year, you can help me out.
There's your Franco in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
My granddad on the left.
In the left.
On the right is
Parin.
I think it's Paring.
Where's Paring? Don't know who Paring is.
Galinetti.
Oh, Mr. Galinetti.
That's Galinetti on the right.
Galinetti. He was as deaf as a post eventually. I
100%.
remember. Yeah.
And they were
See,
all partners at that stage in the business. Way back.
My grandfather was best friends with Mr. Galinetti. I remember him so well.
There we
and
go.
that was also the outside cut.
My cousin Franco with my dad.
Okay.
The Pits at P at the SA Endurance Series.
Okay, that must have been quite recent then, because it's got the
It
mask.
was quite
Yes,
recently, yeah.
It's got the mask.
That's the chevron.
That's the chevron. Okay, that's the chevron. There he's got the big wing on the back. So that's got the 2 Hayabusa. That thing must scream.
Yeah,
It must scream.
that car runs revs to 9,500 RPM every gear.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. And so low as well, huh? Low center of gravity. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm just going through the couple of pictures that we found. That looks like your dad there.
It's Silvio.
Oh, it's
He
Silvio.
actually does look like my dad.
Oh, he did. Oh, you both do. You both do. It's the age. It's getting to. There's a lovely. There was a write-up in the Italian magazine there.
Yeah.
About the that looks like the Brabham.
I'm hoping you can translate that for us in English.
Non capito, no.
Non parlare italiano.
Non parlare italiano, io parlare poco italiano, non proprio. My word, yes. And I believe that Brabham also, it wasn't the Brabham, it was the eventually you had the Cosworth engine, and then it went to the a rotary engine as well. I think they were racing a rotary, the B13, which is, my father-in-law was a rotary fan. That must be just in the pits there somewhere. Let's have a squiz.
Yeah, that was just some pit action.
Yeah, bit of pit action indeed. Oh, that's right, yeah.
Is that the
Okay,
one?
I'm going to see. I think that's. Oh, there we go. That's a bit of horse racing. What's that? What's that?
Yeah, that's the horse
So that's my
racing.
late grandfather.
Yes,
My
yes.
nono.
Yes. No, that's
Aldo
a jockey. there.
Scribante, and his jockey. He was obviously a very
into the-
astute horse racing.
Oh,
into
really?
horse- we still own how many horses, Aldo?
Oh, really?
Well, a lot of horses. My dad and my uncle Leandro have taken over the stable.
Okay. Okay.
But that race, I think, was either the Gold Cup or
Okay.
yeah, I think it was the winner in the Gold Cup. He had one winner in the Gold Cup, and he finished third in the Durban July.
I'm sure maybe someone in the comments can tell us who the jockey is, but he certainly looks like Kepler Wessels. There we go.
That was a radical wing that we were trying on
right.
Audi,
I
which
see
is
that.
something out of a spaceship. We're just waiting for the car to take off, but it didn't.
Fantastic. Okay, so
But we
testing
had a
out,
lot of fun anyway.
testing out some stuff there.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
testing some aerodynamics, locally produced
All right.
aerodynamics.
Let's have a look and see what else we got here. That's an early pick of Jack.
I love the
Brabham.
safety in those years. No,
Yeah.
no tires, no barriers.
No, nothing. Just like
Absolutely
go for it.
nothing. Man.
250 k's an hour, no problem.
Gladiators.
Yeah, gladiators.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. And look at the crowd standing on the side.
Well, I mean, East London, I think, holds the record for the biggest crowd
Yeah.
in the history of motorsport. I think it's got one of the biggest turnouts at the track because in those days there was no social media.
Yeah, yeah.
So what did you do for entertainment?
Yeah,
you had
you
to
go to
go
the
and
track.
actually go to the track, go to the live
Yeah.
events, you know.
Unbelievable. Fantastic. Right, there's another one. Jockey is Gavin Fenter. Okay. Thank you, Colin.
Okay.
Colin likes the GGs, no doubt. Kepler was too tall to be a jockey. I'd love to. Brad says he'd love to take some cool photos.
So we can
I'll do it.
organise. No
We'll
problem.
organise. Brad, I'll let you
must
know.
wait because the GT3 series is coming to PE. One leg of the GT3 South African Championships will be in Port Elizabeth, so all the cars will be here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
So
it's a
we'll
perfect opportunity.
look out for it, Brad. And then Brian Wilson's fastest I've ever driven was my Burberry Cas car fell off the roof. What is that? Tamlin's there as well. Lovely. I hope you're enjoying. And Martin, yes, that's your wife indeed. And Martin van Rensburg, the guys who says you guys are still pushing it. You do damn right. Until they die. Absolutely. But thank you guys. It's been what a job. Thank you so much for coming on board. And,
Thank you, Gino.
And lovely
It was
to see
awesome.
Thank you, Gino.
the Italians. You know,
Great to be here with you.
Thank you for
Always-
your initiative.
no problem. And it was absolute joy for me to be out there on Thursday, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I see there've been a lot of guys online, lots of comments. You can watch it afterwards as well. So please share, and send to your friends, and they can all have a look. And then we can all support the Scribantes when they're racing the next time, because we need to support our PE Oaks.
Local is lekker.
It is. That's what Ginos Spot's about. It's about supporting the local stuff. And it's lovely to see the guys from Queenstown, all the civil in general, and the guys there. How's it, George? I saw George saying hello to you.
Hello,
dad as
George.
well. George was saying how's it earlier on as well. I missed that. But thank you very much for coming aboard. It's time for our competition. So I've got to give away a case of Fitch and Leeds. You'll each get one as well. I'm going to organise for you guys as well, so you can mix something up with your gin and whiskey. You know.
And the grappa.
Yeah, a little bit of poco grappa, a little bit of grappa. I've still got some left.
And espresso.
Espresso too, maybe, or afterward, to kill the headache. But thank you guys for coming in.
Pleasure.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the invite, Gino.
All right, so
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna stick in my headphones now because it's gonna be bloody loud in here. So you
Okay.
might block your ears.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right, so guys, here we go. All right, I'm in my earphones now because it's time for the competition. We're going to hand out a Fitch and Leeds. A Fitch and Leeds case to wherever you are. If you're in England or you're in South Africa, you're in luck because we can send it to you. We will send it to your door, indeed. But I want the name of the song and the name of the artist in one comment, please. And I'm going to play the drums to it, and I want you to guess the song. All right, so we're going to head over to the drum cam now. the doors are open. The front doors are open. It's hot here tonight. So I think the guys in Mill Park are going to hear me. Old Tim Fraser's up there. Going to listen. All right, we got the dual cameras on the go, and it's we're ready to go. We got it. Who's there? Natasha Thompson is our winner tonight. Maybe you can drive my car by the Beatles. That's right. Show's over and it's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us on Ginos Spot, and we hope you've enjoyed it. It's been fantastic with our. Thank you to the brothers Silvio and Aldo, and to Zio Chelso and Zio Pina. Thank you so much for organizing all that. It's been a fantastic time. See you on Tuesday. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds. Thank you to Spa. And thank you to Amerbia, our internet. Oh! Alright. We'll send that to you, Natasha. Don't worry. We'll get it. Stick some grappa inside. Do it. Some grappa. Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Ginos Spot.